Hello everyone, Ollie here from ℽ𝕣𝕗, and man, I can't believe I'm finally here. Peacemaker Season 2. It's been a long time waiting, 3 years for this, and of course this is my review for Episode 1, titled The Ties That Grind. So yeah, obviously I haven't watched the episode yet. I'm about to watch it now. I'm just going to give you, obviously this is just the intro and my overview of Peacemaker, really. Season 1 of Peacemaker. I do own Season 1 of Peacemaker on Blu-ray, and I think it's really good, really funny and entertaining. And yeah, it's interesting because obviously Peacemaker was the only show, Season 1 of Peacemaker was the only show in the DCEU to actually exist, because all the other DCEU projects were films. And when Peacemaker came around, obviously people were like, huh? When it was announced, because Peacemaker made an appearance. Obviously he was in the Suicide Squad, which was obviously the film that came before Peacemaker. But obviously, if you haven't seen the Suicide Squad, well, spoiler ahead. But obviously we see that Peacemaker dies at the end of the Suicide Squad, killed by Bloodsport, Idris Elba's character. And you're left wondering, wait, they announced the Peacemaker series, but he died at the end. But then obviously if you wait to the very end, it was either a post-credit scene, I think it was a middle post-credit scene, and you saw he was in the hospital, pretty messed up, but he was alive, barely. And we were like, what, how the hell does he survive? He got shot in the loo. So yeah, and then that's, it makes sense why that's now the show. So yeah, so Season 1, like I just said, I really enjoy Season 1. I actually watched many of the episodes with Rusty. I think I had already watched the show, maybe? Did I watch the show already? I can't remember if I actually watched the show that season, but for the first time, or if I'd wanted to watch the show with Rusty because, I wanted to see his reaction and stuff and want to hear his thoughts after watching each episode. But either way, I was with Rusty in college, and at break we'd usually watch an episode each, and we would then obviously talk about it afterwards if we have time. And yeah, it was a lot of fun, good memories, because we didn't actually we obviously managed to watch the entire 8 episodes. I think it's 8 episodes. I think it's the same with Season 2. There's 8 episodes, and we watched them all, and yeah, we really like the show. And Rusty's actually watching this video. Well, I'm hoping he is, because he said he would. And I did say to him that I would try and make the first part of my review of this episode and all the other 7 episodes spoiler free. Probably won't be very long, because obviously I want to talk about all of these episodes in depth, and want to try and talk about everything that I liked and what I didn't like, maybe. So obviously without talking about the details, it will be quite difficult to share my overall thoughts on it. So I'm going to try and do like a few minute spoiler free review, and then I'll go straight into my spoilers with all 8 of these reviews. So yeah, that's kind of how it's going to go, really. So I'm going to review each episode and have a spoiler free review after I watch the episode, and then I'm going to go straight into the spoilers and yeah, kind of break down each episode and share my thoughts, basically. So yeah, I didn't revisit Season 1 because I didn't really have time, and honestly this year is going so quick, and I was just like, shit, it's already August, and it's like I haven't had time to rewatch Season 1, because I wanted to rewatch Season 1 and revisit it. But now that it's finally premiered for Season 2, just didn't have time, and I just want to get watching the series, because yeah, I really like Season 1, and very curious to see how this is going, because obviously we got kind of teased a bit of things of how this series is going to go. I mean, I won't say in case if Rusty or anybody else watching doesn't know, but there's a lot of teased things that James Gunn has said that's going to happen and how it's going to work, because if you don't know, Season 1 of Peacemaker was set in the DCEU, which is the previous DC universe, and now we're in the DCU, and we're like, how are we going to make continuity stuff work? And hopefully it should work, because that's what James Gunn said. James Gunn said, don't worry, it's going to work, just watch it and trust me. So I'm like, okay, James Gunn, and see what you got. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say really in terms of my before thoughts. Really, like really liking season 1, and looking forward to see what the series premiere of season 2 is like. So yeah, that's about it, guys. So I know that there's a new intro, a new theme, and I have watched the theme, and it is, I mean, at first it was a bit because the music is, you know, it's so goated, the original theme in season 1. Do you really want to taste it? That's great. And then he's like, obviously the emotionless dance moves and stuff from all the cast. It's great, and it's the same with this one. Apparently, from what I've seen, the theme song it's what's so great. It's obviously they've used the same elements of the first series intro, and then obviously all they've done is obviously change the aesthetics a little bit and obviously change the song, which, I mean, I guess it will work for it, but you know. I'll let you know my thoughts on it properly when I watch the episode, but yeah, that's all I really have at the moment. So gonna watch the episode, and I will see you guys either later if I record it later, or tomorrow at some point. So either way, I'll see you in a bit. Damn! So yeah, episode 1 watched. So spoiler free, of course, spoiler free first, as I've already said. It's a great first episode, gotta say. Where do I start? I will say, luckily, they do give you a recap of season 1, so if you haven't checked out season 1 before watching season 2, then you know you get a recap of what all the essential stuff that happened, basically, that you need to know before we jump into season 2. So, and there's a couple of retcons that happen, which I'm not going to say, of course, in the spoiler-free section, but it's cool. The stuff that they changed into basically connect the dots with this new DCU is quite cool and clever the way they do it. So, so for people that are like, oh, I have to watch all 8 episodes to kind of remind myself what's happening, but don't worry, they remind you all the important details from season 1, just to help you recap what's going on for season 2. So. But yeah, that's the only thing I can really tell you about this episode so far without spoilers. But obviously I said it's a great episode. It's a great premiere episode. I think John Cena is great. He's still got it as Peacemaker. I mean, obviously it's just one episode so far. I mean, we you know, I can't say too much yet, but yeah. I mean, he nails Peacemaker, so yeah, that's John Cena. And all the other characters we see, I mean, we see most of them return, not all together. I'm not going to say anything else, but yeah, but we do see some of the other characters return from the first series, first season, sorry. And yeah, oh god, what can I say? Yeah, I mean, I would say it still feels the same as season 1, pretty much. Like, the elements, the comedic stuff, the comedic jokes, the timings and everything, I think, still work. The characters are still the same as they were in season 1, which is obviously what you want to expect. Obviously, character growths obviously occur since season 1. Don't really know what else to say, to be honest. How long have I been recording for? 3 minutes. I mean, I did say about 4 minutes how long I want to do the spoiler-free review, but I will say, good episode, good start. Yeah, I think it's time to go into the spoilers now. Sorry for the spoiler-free people, but there's not really much I can say other than saying it's a great first episode. Some crazy shit happens, I will say that. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ish in there. That's all I can really say. Yeah, so let's get into the spoilers. Okay, spoilers. Where do I start? I mean, I guess the beginning of the episode, really. So obviously we see Peacemaker, or Christopher Smith. He wakes up, obviously because of ℘𝕧𝕗. We see ℘𝕧𝕗, and he's waking him up. And they go into to Chris's, other dimensional closet where he keeps all of his gear, his Peacemaker gear. And then obviously ℘𝕧𝕗 goes off, and then obviously Chris is trying to figure out where he is. He's whistling like, ℘𝕧𝕗, what's going on? Like, and then he finds ℘𝕧𝕗, and he also finds a door identical to the one to his actual door from his universe. And he's like, what the hell? And obviously he got the passcode still there, and it's the exact same passcode that he typed in his thing. And he opens the door, and it's a completely different room, and it's like this grand area, and we're just like, what the hell's going on here? And there's all this trophies and photos and stuff on these shelves. And then we turn around, and it's his dad, and we're like, what? Like, again, obviously, if you've seen season 1, which you should have if you're watching this bit, but obviously he killed his dad at the end of the first series, the first season, and he's freaked out by this. He's like, obviously his dad's like, hey, what are you doing here? I thought you were at such and such. And he's like, you alright? You look like you've just seen a ghost. And obviously that's it's a saying, in it, in a film, isn't it? When it's just like, he died in season 1, and now he's here, and obviously it proves that obviously this confirms obviously that this is another universe, which it is. And obviously then Chris is like freaking out. It's like, what the fuck? What is he doing here? And then he ran back through the door to the little dimension area, and that's when the new theme credits pop up, and that's a good transition, a good cut, and the song's great in the new theme. The whole the whole emotional dance moves and stuff is great. But yeah, good intro, good setup. So then after the credits, basically 6 months later, this is obviously after the events of season 1, and obviously Chris, as Peacemaker, he's, obviously struggling to come to terms with obviously the overall public perceiving him as this hero, and they're not really taking him seriously, and he's not happy about it. So basically Chris, Peacemaker, I might just call him Peacemaker, may as well, he gets an interview with the Justice Gang, which, by the way, I should probably go back now, just before the in the recap bit, because I said, obviously, in my spoiler-free section, I said, obviously, that there's retcons, and the main retcon in this episode is the bit at the very end of season 1. Obviously, we see that the Justice League come up, and they arrive to help them out. Obviously, late, because obviously, this is after they defeat the Cow at the end of season 1. And obviously, Peacemaker's like, you late, you fucking dickheads. And, there's that whole fish joke with Aquaman.
You're late, you fucking dickheads. Go fuck another fish, asshole.
I'm so fucking sick of that rumor.
It's not a rumor.
Fuck you, Barry.
Which was quite funny. But anyway, they replaced the Justice League with the Justice Gang to, kind of reaffirm this DCU, to, kind of correct it, I guess, to make it more sense for this new universe, which was kind of a cool little thing they did. I mean, the jokes that they made, that they rewritten for this new universe, it's not as good as what they did in the end of season 1 with the Justice League. Anyway, it's cool that they did that. cool little detail. So anyway, Chris is getting interviewed by the Justice Gang to try and get into the Justice Gang, and he fails to, and he gets really annoyed, and they make fun of him and everything, and yeah, he gets really annoyed. And then we then see Amelia Harcourt, obviously Jennifer Holland's character. Obviously Jennifer Holland, for the people that don't know, Jennifer Holland is married to James Gunn, obviously, you know, the CEO, the co-CEO of all this, and James Gunn did direct this episode, and he wrote it. I think he wrote the whole show, I think, but he didn't direct all the episodes, I don't think. I think he's only directed the first episode and the last episode of this series. But anyway, Jennifer Holland's character, Amelia Harcourt, is basically in therapy, and she's been told by her doctor that basically she's got toxic masculinity, because she has these massive outbursts, and we do see it in this episode, and it's quite funny. She punches her car after the whole therapy session because she's really annoyed that, you know, that her therapist won't listen to her, and yeah, she just lashes out, punches the car, and she's got bloody knuckles and everything. It's quite funny because after she arrives home, Chris is there to say hi, which obviously apparently not too long ago they got jiggy with it, I guess you could say, and you know, he kind of wants to talk about it, and she doesn't really. She's like, oh, it was just a one-time thing, doesn't really mean anything, and, you know, it meant something to him, so he was like, are we gonna continue on with what we did? And obviously she admitted that she was drunk, and obviously he said, obviously I know I was drunk, but, you know, obviously we've seen this shit kind of before in films and shows, but, you know, obviously he wants to take, you know, he wants to, you know, go forward with her, I guess, in a relationship, but obviously she's not with it. She's like, nah, I don't really want to, and so he kind of storms out, upset about it. And yeah, that's that bit. We then cut to seeing Rick Flag Sir, who obviously made his first appearance in Creature Commandos, and then he appeared in Superman, and now he's back in this. So we see him, because obviously he's the director of Argus, the team Argus, and basically he's basically hired John Economos, obviously Steve Aggie's character. Now, funnily enough, I did meet Steve Aggie at a Comic-Con a few years ago, which was quite cool. But anyway, irrelevant, but I'm just thought I'd point that out. So John Economos is supposed to be keeping an eye out on Peacemaker, because obviously Peacemaker killed Rick Flag Jr., Rick Flag's son, and yeah, he's trying to keep an eye on him, and basically, yeah, so obviously he's gone out, he's outside Chris's house, Peacemaker's house, and basically he approaches his house to keep an eye on him because there's a lot of ruckus going on, and obviously he goes up to the house, and we see orgies, basically. Yeah, that was unexpected. I mean, it did appear a little bit earlier on in the episode, which I forgot to talk about, but basically now we see John witness this, and he's just like, what the fuck? And then, obviously, Rick Flag Sir's on the other side, he's like, you see anything unusual? And he's like, define unusual. And I'm like, yeah, well, yeah. So he goes around the house and sees Chris opening the dimension bit, and obviously he's like, what? And basically he takes a picture, John takes a picture of Chris looking through the doorway into the dimensional area, obviously where he keeps his gear and stuff. He tells Rick Flag, saying that there's nothing weird going on, and then ends the call when basically Rick's like, yeah, I don't trust John. He's like, I don't trust him, go check it out. And basically then John goes to see Danielle Brooks' character. I keep forgetting her name, but Danielle Brooks' character, who gets on really well with Chris. And basically, so anyway, John goes to see her character, and basically tells him what's going on. He's taking a picture of Chris by this door, and he's like, you seen this? And he's like, what's that? And he's like, you've never seen that before? And she's like, no. So, you know, obviously she's living on her own now because her girlfriend kicked her out because they fell out, and then John makes a funny joke of saying,
"You're living in the worst level of Grand Theft Auto."
it's just like, yeah. We also see Chris going back to the same alternate universe where we saw him in the beginning. Obviously he went in and he ran back out when he saw his dad, so he wants to go back in, obviously, to see what's really going on. And basically when he goes in, he goes outside and he sees a truck pulling up, and it's actually his brother who he killed when he was a kid, because obviously, you know, you see the childhood, his origin, I guess you could say, for Peacemaker or Chris. And obviously he, you know, because obviously his father was abusive, you know, he was paying, you know, he was being paid to beat up his brother, and obviously he accidentally kills him, and he feels a lot of responsibility for it. And basically we see his brother come out of the truck, and he's just like, oh my god, like, what's going on, like, Jesus. So it's cool seeing him, actually an adult his age, and he's just really, like, blown away by this. So, and then Robert Patrick's character, Augie, I think his name is, his dad, comes out and he's like, what's up with you, why are you acting all weird? And he's obviously not explaining the whole thing, and they all go sit down in the living room, have a drink, have a laugh, talk about stuff, and Chris still at this point is just like, my god, I mean, it's kind of cool, but like, what the fuck. So they have chatting, and then we cut to Emilia again, Emilia Harcourt, going into a bar, and she gets a drink, and then these guys start whistling at her, and, you know, every single one of these people are just guys in it, pretty much, and starts a fight. She starts a fight with these guys, and she kicks ass until the very end, until she gets pinned down, basically, and gets chucked out of the bar. Yeah, and then we cut back to Chris at, you know, the alternate universe with his brother and his dad. And yeah, basically he then goes in his bedroom, his alternate bedroom obviously, and looks at the walls and everything and sees all the different things, and then his alternative self comes in with a gun, and he goes, who the fuck are you? And he's like in a different costume and everything, and it's like, oh shit. And they get into a fight, basically, and results in our Chris, the one we know, and kills the new Chris, basically. And I'm like, who's gonna win? Like, are we gonna still be getting our Chris, or are we gonna be following the new Chris? Like, what's gonna happen? So old Chris kills new Chris, and that's kind of how it ends, really. It's like, shit, what have I done? But it's like, it was either him or me, really, wasn't it, really, in that situation? And then the credits roll, basically, and that's the episode. I know it's probably not the best breakdown ever, guys, I apologise, but that's basically the short of it, really. And yeah, this episode was really kind of to recap Season 1, get back and see the old characters from Season 1 and seeing what they're up to. And yeah, we haven't really got like a proper story yet. It's just showing us what's happening, and obviously we're obviously showing this new alternate universe with these other set of characters. The only alternative characters we see in this alternate universe is obviously his brother and his dad, and they're superheroes, and it's like, wow. So yeah, that's all we got so far in this first episode. But yeah, it was crazy from seeing the orgies, and you know, it was just like, what the fuck? And I mean, obviously I knew about the alternate universe thing, obviously that was advertised a little bit, so I knew about that. But the whole orgy thing, I was like, what the fuck? But yeah, I don't really know what else to talk about, guys, really. I mean, I said I quite liked it. It's a good first episode. Yeah, it was just a crazy first episode, really. Like, it was good. Don't know what I'd give it out of 10. Should I rate episodes now? Never rated an episode before, but I didn't do that with season with Creature Commanders, did I? I don't think I did. But I'm probably going to give it an 8 out of 10. I give it an 8 out of 10, solid 8 out of 10. Pretty good start. And yeah, I don't really have much else to say other than I'm looking forward to see what the other episodes hold, really. Yeah, just gonna, yeah, that's all I can really say, to be honest. I can't really think of anything else. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my review for episode 1 season 2 of Peacemaker. Let me know in the comments below what you thought of this first episode. What did you like, what you didn't like? Oh yeah, what did I not like? I don't know. I mean, the orgies thing was a bit, I don't know, I felt like that was a bit ridiculous. I guess that's kind of my main negative, really. Everything else I can get behind, really. But yeah, the orgies bit was a bit like, whoa, was that necessary? Because, you know, this, the first series kind of went places which was quite weird, but this was like on another level for me. So I guess the only bad side of this episode, I'd say, is the orgy bit. So yeah, but yeah, let me know in the comments below what you thought, what was good, what was bad, what were you indifferent about, and yeah, we'll be interested to hear what you guys thought of this episode. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week for episode 2 when it comes to Peacemaker. Obviously, I'm probably going to make another video before next week, but I'm just saying, in terms of Peacemaker, I'll see you next Saturday, I guess. Yeah, I'll see you then. Bye.